Hello, hello. I am getting ready to go to the other house, but I wanted to make a first part video and then I'll make second part video at the other house tomorrow. And Paul always takes a whole long time to get ready, so I'm usually packed up with everything before he is. He also has 100 pairs of shoes, while I only have about 20 pairs of shoes, which is normally reversed. So, and that's because I don't wear high heels, I don't wear fancy shoes. I wear decent walking shoes, rocker bottom, Skechers, Shape Ups, or MBT shoes with rocker bottom. Those are my favorite ones. And of course, I got my combat boots on, but only for now because I'm sitting here on the lawn and I get cold feet. So, but I'm still getting grounded. I'm not wearing, as you can see, I have to unbutton my pants. I am sitting here in my cargo pants. So because the weather is getting better, I don't need to wear my big ski pants anymore. This is really wonderful moving into the summertime, and I'm looking forward to going to the high desert. Unfortunately, in public I can't name any town names over there, but there are several areas that we're going to go to. We're also going to go into Nevada. I'm gonna get myself bentonite clay. Maybe I can just dig that up myself with a shovel. That would be awesome. And because, going there will probably cost us about $200 in gas, and I can get double the amount, or maybe even more than double the amount than I get if I order it on the internet. And when I order it on the internet, I have to pay $100 for a 50-pound bag that includes shipping. So the stuff itself isn't that costly, but the shipping of course is, and it's very heavy because it's a very condensed molecule, the sodium bentonite, and it soaks up everything. If you hydrate this overnight, you put that in a glass or jar of water, it soaks up the water, and then it becomes a pudding material, and then you can put that onto an insect bite, for example. It will heal this thing up in 10 minutes. It's true. Or if you are bitten by a brown recluse, it will soak up all the toxins. And I would suggest to put that stuff on 10 times per day if you have that. Do that for months, and it will sure heal it all up. So no physician is going to tell you that, because they want to make money on medication and all of this. And last time we went to the other house, we stopped at the horse, and I met the lady who has that horse, and she has a basset hound, mixed between basset hound and bloodhound. Real cute dog with just medium long legs. Amazing dog with really thick legs and paws. So lovely, and reminded me so much of the Papa dog. And Paul and I were both with hearts on our eyes, and we were like all over that dog and loving that dog, and the dog loved us back, giving us kisses. And oh my gosh, how much I need dog. So, and he had sores on his back, and I said, what's going on with him? What happened? And she explained it's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of bacterial infection or something. She didn't have any idea what it was. I said, you have to put hydrated bentonite clay on it, thick. Her horse once had a sore on the head, looked really bad, and I immediately grabbed. I have hydrated bentonite clay in the van at all times for those kind of emergencies. And I grabbed it and I put a bunch on that. And the next time we saw the horse, it was all healed up with pink skin. amazing, you know. So, but this time, the last time, I just happened to not have the bentonite clay in the van because we're cleaning out the van now. I took the backpack with the clay out, and that's too bad because I wanted to put that on that dog's source. So I gave her my email address and she never emailed me. And when I talked to her about holistic healing, she had a sour look on her face, like this is somehow going against everything she's ever learned. You know, people, they do identify, you know, with whatever they have learned. That becomes kind of like that's their unshakable truths. You know, that's their identity, that is their nation, that is their family, that is all of that, you know. So all of this is like whatever they have been told, you know, is, whether that is something religious or whether it comes from the pharma industry, you know, they will accept that, they will embed that into their belief system and into their identification. And that's why this is so incredibly difficult to teach people about holistic healing and, you know, thinking for yourself, questioning society and all of this. So what else did I want to say? I always sway out, and I really wanted to talk about something completely different. So I don't know how long this will record now, but I wanted to mention the difference between teasing someone and bullying someone. There's a very distinct difference. I talked to another woman about this on YouTube. She made videos about this. She's married happily, not like me, and her husband teases her every day, and he's a little bit, you know, just a little bit pricky and a little bit teasy, and, you know, just a little bit like, that's what men do, you know. They want to feel that charges them up. They want to feel like they know more than the woman. So, you know, yeah, you're just a woman. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, little girl or something, you know. Okay. So, but, you know, I can let that go too. You know, it doesn't bother me very much. I know inside of my head, like, yeah, little boy, whatever. And, you know, it's, if that turns them on, if they want us, then we feel wanted, you know, obviously. And that turns us on, of course. And because we want you to be happy, you know, and when you're happy, then we are happy. So, but she agreed with me 100% that some men, not just some men, but a lot of men, they go overboard with that, so what they call teasing, you know. They think that's sexy. I talked about this before, you know. So one guy said in the chat room, well, if you don't like sexy talk, excuse me, you just accused me of being a tranny and a guy. That's not exactly sexy for me. So, because I'm a straight woman and I identify with being straight and a woman, and very girly on top of that, very estrogen, very oxytocin, as you can clearly see. But you want to bully me, right? So you got a chip on your shoulder, and he thinks that's sexy. So he said, if you don't want sexy talk, you go to a moderated chat room. So, well, first of all, I get kicked out of almost every moderated chat room there is because I think for myself, okay? But I get kicked out for totally different reasons than a brutal psychopathic troll would be kicked out, because I'm not a psychopathic troll, I'm a love troll. So I get kicked out for love trolling. That's what they do. And something's caught in here. That was caught in the branch. I had to free this branch there from the rhododendron. So I want them to be free, and so there's already stuff growing in there that clings to the rhododendron, like some kind of, like a maidenhair fern that is growing out there. And Paul already cut some of that off, and I pull the roots out of the grass from the maidenhair fern. And I don't know if there's one here that I can show you. Okay, here's this maidenhair fern root that goes into the whole lawn in very long strings. And sometimes I pick that up and I chew on it, and it tastes really good. So it has a lot of sugar in it. It's really nice, probably very medicinal, that stuff. I could make tea with it, but then again, I don't really know whether this is exactly maidenhair fern. I would need some kind of tablet that can identify plants. That would be very nice to have something, to have an app like that that identifies plants for you and also lists all the alkaloids that are included in that plant. That would be very nice. So, you know, to warn us whether we should eat that or cook that or not, you know. So, but anyway, psychology subject of bullying. So teasing, you know, teasing is kind of nice, but then there are people who take the teasing to another level. And yes, the Viking Iceman, Ice King, he takes it to another level, and then there's, you know, it goes gradually over into hatred, and you can clearly see when the hatred is starting, you know, when the real hardcore insults come hailing down on you. That's when the hatred is there. That's when you need to go into your bedroom. That's when you need to close the door and the window, and you need to pound your pillow with your hands, not with anything else. So you need to punch your pillow real hard, okay? You think of me and punch the pillow, but don't wish me death. Don't do that as, you know, like some kind of, you know, I want to give her a real hardcore migraine with this now or something, you know. I woke up with like I was beaten in the forehead. So I bet some people have done that, actually. I bet Zane has done that a couple of times. But he won't admit that publicly, of course, you know. Because admitting anger, that would be more vulnerability, you know. That's like, oh no, you wouldn't want me to see that you were angry. So, but baby, you can't hide that from me, obviously, you know. So I see all of that. I'm mama psychologist, so hobby psychologist. I see all of that stuff going on. When the real hardcore insults come, and when the sadistic role play and all of that is happening, it fades over between teasing and hatred. It goes back and forth. So, and the whole lust is sort of has hatred embedded into it, and that's not healthy at all. Not at all. There's nothing wrong with loving me, you know, because there's nothing wrong with not hating me, because I don't deserve to be hated. I'm a real kind-hearted person, and that's another thing I wanted to say today is why do you keep accusing me of of some kind of mind game or some kind of, playing with you or with people? I don't play with anyone, okay? I am totally real with what I feel and what I say, okay? This is totally genuine, okay? And my love is real. My love for you is real, okay? And my love as friends for everyone is real, okay? I care about people. I really do. And I want people to be happy. I want healing to happen. So maybe you don't want to believe that. You want to project your own role play stuff and maneuvers. You want to project that onto others. You want to project that onto me and believe that I function the same way. Okay, I don't. I'm an empath. I'm highly introverted person. The reason why I make public videos is because I feel so strongly about this. Okay, I feel like this information must come to the public. So I train myself. I had to train myself. It took me many years. This doesn't come easily for me. I'm not a histrionic star or something. Certainly not. Okay, so this may come across as that because of the stuff that I say that is way out there. Okay, that comes across as histrionic, but I'm not. This stuff comes from studying different teachers, including Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Okay, including the occult, parapsychology. I'm fascinated. That's the most fascinating field that I go into. Okay, and I don't do this in order to gain some kind of power or play tricks on someone. Okay, so I would never do a love spell on anyone. That would be I feel bad about that. That'd be terrible. I'd rather do the opposite and let you. I want you to come to your own conclusions about what you want and what you feel. That's your own healing process. All of this. I'm not going to talk into that in any way. I'm just sharing my information that I have. So we like to be flirted with, for example, I'm not going to mention some names because some of them are very decent people in the chat room, and I'm not going to get into their personal stuff. I get into the personal stuff of those people that have exceeded their deservingness of confidentiality. The ones that have been so outlandishly mean and wrong, like Zayn and other people, those I will call out. I have to, because we have to discuss this stuff. I mean, you squeaky wheel, or you are making yourself seen and heard. Okay, it's like a temper tantrum. And I have to talk about this. This is very important. I'm not going to cater to you and just to appease you and make you think like, yeah, it's all good now. Nicola is now on her knees in front of you or something. No, I'm not. I am me, and I will never be under you. Okay? I mean, that is so incredibly. This is so outdated, the patriarchic, sexist stuff from my grandfather. Man, you gotta dissolve that now. Come on now. So, we're on eye level. I love you. I care about you. We're on eye level. So, but it is what I said in my video the last video that I put on. Okay. The day before yesterday. It is what it is. That is what it is, So, it's like, it's not an ultimatum. it's my ground rules, okay? You either follow my ground rules, or we cannot hang out, okay? It's as simple as that, you know? So I can hang out as friends, but then keep it as that. Don't come with me, don't come up with the flirting stuff and with that. Don't come up with the crude sexual stuff that will tease me too much, you know, like I said in my clay figure video. This is so much teasing and tickling, you know. And yes, that's what words do. They do that, you know. They do that to our body parts. They do that big time, you know. And most people won't talk about it. They're too ashamed about it. But this subject needs to be discussed, obviously, you know. So we feel something in our bodies. We have hormones, you know. You say a couple of things that are extremely sexual, you know, and some of the stuff is too disguised. So I don't know whether they're talking about food or something else, but then you probably see, oh, this went right over her head. Let me try it a little bit more direct, okay? And then us P bitch gets it at some point. And then it does something, you know, it does a surge in my body, you know, and it gets me all going. And this is so unbelievably wrong, particularly, you know, because for women it is very, very, for women, like I said before, there's so much more in it, you know. It just fans out this entire spectrum of oxytocin, of love, you know. We're family makers, you know. We're not like you guys, you know. You guys go from one woman to another, and for you it's like a sport, you know. And that gets you going. And for us it's like, you know, we include the whole person into this. We're way more mature than you guys are, you know, and that's a fact on that level for sure. So I may not financially be the most mature of all people, but definitely psychologically, mama, dog area, okay, that's where I am very, very mentally mature. And that's where I share my love, you know. That's where I am absolutely committed. And if you make up your mind, if we get together, I will absolutely be 100% committed to you. But don't expect me to be on my knees, you know, mentally. I will not, okay, because I know what I know and I stand up for it, you know. I'm an activist. I want to heal the world. I want to help heal the world. I'm not gonna let someone with my grandfather's attitude come along and put duct tape over my mouth. That's not gonna happen, okay? I have to speak out. I have to say the truth. I need to talk about this kind of stuff, okay? So we like to be teased, and if it is for us, if that intention is for us, if there's some kind of, you know, if you can't love, then at least put some kind of cuteness into it, you know, some kind of, you know, there are different men in the chat room with different levels of flirting, obviously, as you can see, you know. And with different forms of flirting, with different types of flirting. And what works for us is, if you observe what works for us, and this is totally unrelated to the way they look, okay? we really respond the most to your words, much more than your appearance. Well, I happen to like Zayn's appearance, okay? That is absolutely my type, okay? Totally. But the way you act is not making me feel loved at all, you know? And most of the time, it doesn't even make me feel liked. It makes me feel rejected. And so when you draw the line, over that threshold, where you make the woman feel uncomfortable, molested, or rejected, or when you say the word yuck to me, you know, I mean, that's a total rejection of my body, and that's like, that's 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 running away from me. That's like telling me I'm garbage, you know. That's what that feels like, and it's very, 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 very painful, very hurtful. And then you come back with, and then I don't know, a week later you come back with some with some pricky flirting, with some carnal type of flirting, and it goes back and forth. And that is what I call psychological metal bending. And that can break someone's mind, you know. Not me, because I'm going into the ego dissolution funnel. I'm going into the inwardness meditation process. Most people don't know how to do it. So I'm very lucky that I know how to do it. Okay. But yeah, the other night I didn't mean to commit suicide really, but I just took I took a whole handfuls of Pieris japonica, stuffed that into my mouth and drank it down with water. And several. And I did that. It was an act of anger. It felt the same way as when I was dissolving my bank account. You know, it's like, what the fuck? It was this feeling of like, what's the point, you know? I'm gonna play Russian roulette with it again, you know. So that's kind of, it wasn't really like, but I still count this into the suicide attempts, because I took way too much, and then I sat on the toilet with diarrhea for like half an hour, and with intestinal cramps, and with seeing stars, literally, you know, like in the cartoons. And then going outside on the lawn under the moon with my sleeping bag, talking to Papa and Kenny and the Blue God. And I said, Blue God, help me with this, you know. And my message to you is, don't drive me into something like this. I'm extremely vulnerable. All of my chakra centers are wide open. Don't be so sadistic with such a sensitive being, you know. That's my message to you. And it's my message to all men, you know. We are sensitive, and even the women that are pretending to be tough, you know, they're sensitive too. Okay, they're vulnerable too. And believe it or not, you guys are vulnerable, and saying you're vulnerable, okay? And I see that, and you act out of that vulnerability, okay? You see, you feel hurt from like nothing, from like, I mean, you feel hurt from things that are not, have nothing to do with hurt. They there's no intent of hurt or anything, you know. So, and the only thing that I can think of now is you get hurt because you see me talking in a in a in a happy way with another guy, you know, like with Pat. You had the total meltdown, and I could not even make you feel better. I told you I wrote a poem for you. It didn't make you feel better. You went into a total rage fit, and you came back with another account, and with several of your other accounts, and I had to block all of those. And you had to insult us really bad. You told us to starve to death. That's something a psychopath does. Okay, you would kill us. So for what? For just being friends, for Pat and me being friends, talking to each other back and forth for like 2 hours, having a good time. I like Pat as a friend. I don't know what Pat feels, and it don't hold what Pat feels against me. So if you do this, then you're completely out of balance, and you're completely out of touch with reality. And that's why I think it is so, Romeo and Juliet, that Pat's absolutely right about this, and Frank is right about you having meltdowns. You are Romeo having meltdowns over BS, over things that are totally that just over ridiculous stuff, that isn't even happening. So if you can, I feel the most psychic connection to you, and nobody else, no one else in the whole world. Okay, it's true. I mean, it's unbelievable what I feel. And I didn't know that something like this would come out of a chat room. I went to the chat room mainly because I was in absolute despair over my papa dog. Okay, and I have no friends. We're total recluses, and I need to talk to people, and then when I say I want to chat, I just want to chat, then all of these guys are starting to make fun of me, like, are you projecting again your own reasons why you are in the chat room? You're projecting that onto me. So I must be doing this too, just for that same no, we women don't function that way. Okay, this is very important to straighten this out. Very important for us women is we go in the chat, we really go in the chat room just to find someone to talk to. Okay, it could be another woman. Okay, and just to have someone to talk to, someone to talk to about interesting things that interest us, some, or learning something. Someone, I like learning, anyone who knows more than I do. I love learning, I love listening too, and then I respond with what I know, and this is a great way to socialize. I think, it's also a very great way, and a much better way than the dating app, because we get to see you guys, how you act. We get to see you guys in a long-term study, not just talking to a guy we meet on Badoo or something for a week, and then they expect us to go out there and risk getting the virus and so on. I'm not going to do that, by the way. But yeah, I'm checking guys on Badoo as well, just to see who's out there, just to see, what if, and if I met someone, chances are absolutely almost zero that I will meet them. And Sam Wagner talked about this too. Now with the pandemic, more than ever, of course. There's almost no dating coming out of dating apps. It's like it's extremely rare when people actually hook up. So it's because of lack of trust, and also because of the pandemic, of course. Nobody wants to risk that, and or risk that, particularly for someone who might just be someone who just uses us for a night. So we don't want that. Women don't want that. They did long-term studies on this in psychology, and they found out that almost all women are looking for real love. And don't laugh about me if I happen to be in the chat room and I look for real love there too, because you are real, okay? Behind Starshine is a man, okay? So, and you are real, okay, with real feelings, and you're showing those feelings. You're showing those unbelievably inflamed emotions in unbelievably inflamed ways, okay, and bath salt type of activity, and that shows how much you are affected by this. But we want people to think that this is just some kind of video game for you. It doesn't mean anything, okay? So I heard that there were people that were playing video games with each other, where one guy won and the other one went looking for him, okay? But because the other guy gave the wrong address, which is a very unethical thing to do. I would never give someone some random address where the hater could go to, to lead the hater astray, and then the hater goes there and kills an innocent person there that had nothing to do with it, and that's what happened. So obviously people even get so angry and psychopathic when they're playing video games too. There's always feelings involved in everything that is going on the internet, okay? Every time there is some kind of interaction, there are feelings. So now Tablet just told me that I don't have that much more time for the video, okay? So yeah, there's feelings involved in all of us, okay? And there's no shame in it. You've got to dissolve that shame, you gotta go into that inwardness meditation. You have to look into your own mind, and everyone has to do it. We're all kind of exposed in a way in a chat room, you know people, they think they're disguised, they think they're, but then eventually that incognito account, once they have talked enough on that, then the personality comes through. People see the person, they link up the name with that person, then it becomes a character, okay? And then again they feel ashamed to do something else or say something else on that, so they have to open another incognito account so that they can do some other stuff with the other sock account, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on like this. This is an exhausting life, okay? Just why don't you just be you and show your photo, make a nice photo of yourself, be you, have your actual first name. You can use a different last name if you want to. You can use a funny name. You can say Zane loves dogs, okay? Make a channel with this. For me, do that. Zane loves dogs. Show your beautiful face and your gorgeous face, your masculine face, your Viking face, okay, and your gorgeous body and chest and shoulders and all of that, and wear something nice, and wear something from wear an outfit by Donatella Versace. So and then show yourself, and then go in the chat room and say, Nicola, I love you. And then let everyone laugh, okay? Let everyone act out whatever they want to do. So no, it's just an example. So be you, do what you really want. Love who you really want, So that's so incredibly important. Romeo, avoid the meltdowns. Say what you want, okay? Don't come in there with troll accounts and then you spy on people and then they don't act the way you wanted them to act because you want to own that playing field. You want to be the owner of it, you want to be the dictator of it, and everyone has to be on their knees and cater to your needs. Okay, that's what a psychopath does. You have to become consciously aware of that. And so Sam Vaknin, he makes videos where, they're very professional and they're awesome, but there's one thing I disagree with him on. I disagree with when he says that these people are absolutely, that's genetic, that's uncurable, they are like this forever, you cannot fix them. I disagree with him on that. Absolutely disagree. I know intuitively that we can fix. That's just a coping mechanism, okay? And it's a bad one. And there's genetics involved in this, that there's a genetic disposition that leads you to use that to run away with. You use this to run away from your childhood trauma, and it works very well, but it doesn't work very well because it causes you sleepless nights. It makes you crazy. I see all of this, makes me worry about you so much, and I just wish I could help. And so I think all of this is very important to talk about, all of these things, how this information needs to go out into the world. People need to become at least cognitively conscious about all of this. And so that they don't have to dabble in complete confusion anymore.